Once upon a time in a field not too far away, there lived an ant colony. The ants worked day and night to build their anthill. They would gather sticks and leaves and soil and water and food, always building, always working. Their days were filled with tasks, collecting, organizing, planning for the long, harsh winter that lay ahead. There was one ant who liked to watch the world around him. He wasn't lazy by any means. He did his work diligently. But whenever he had some free time, he would relax and enjoy the surroundings. He loved watching the clouds drift by, or listening to the birds sing, or just taking in the warm sun on his back. One day, while the ant was taking a break, he saw a group of grasshoppers playing nearby. They were jumping and hopping and singing, and they looked like they were having so much fun. The ant couldn't help but smile at their carefree attitude. "Why don't you come and play with us?" called out one of the grasshoppers, noticing the ant's amused expression. "You look like you could use some fun." The ant hesitated. He really wanted to join them, but he knew his responsibilities. "I can't," he said apologetically. "I have to collect food for the winter." The grasshopper laughed. "There's plenty of time for that. It's summer now. Let's enjoy the summer." The ant shook his head. "No, we must work. If we don't, we won't survive the winter. You see, our colony, we need food, water, shelter. We prepare for the winter now so we can get through it safely." The grasshopper hopped closer, his tone becoming serious. "But why do you worry so much? Life's too short to be always working. Come play with us. Have some fun." The ant still refused, though he couldn't help but feel a twinge of longing as he watched the grasshoppers frolic. Day after day, the ant continued his work, gathering food and organizing the supplies for the upcoming winter. Meanwhile, the grasshoppers played. They sang and they danced and they feasted on the sweet summer fruits. As the days grew shorter and the temperatures dropped, the ant felt a sense of satisfaction. His hard work had paid off. The colony was well prepared, but a small part of him couldn't help but envy the grasshoppers and their carefree lives. Maybe there was more to life than just working, he thought. One particularly cold day, the ant was busy inside the anthill organizing the food stores when he heard a commotion outside. He rushed to the entrance to see what was happening and was shocked to find all the grasshoppers huddling together. Shivering in the cold, the ant felt a pang of sympathy for them. "Why didn't you prepare for the winter like we did?" he asked. One of the grasshoppers looked up at him, shamefaced. "We didn't think it would get so cold," he mumbled. "We were having too much fun playing and singing. We didn't have time to gather food." The ant knew they were in trouble. If they didn't do something quickly, the cold weather would kill them. He quickly organized a team of ants to help the grasshoppers. They carried in twigs and leaves and piled them up in the center of the anthill to create a shelter. Then the ants shared their food with the grasshoppers, giving them the energy they needed to keep going. As the days turned into weeks and the snow began to fall, the ants huddled together inside the anthill, sharing stories and eating their stored food. They were safe and warm, ready to face the winter. Outside, the grasshoppers snuggled into the pile of leaves, grateful for the ants' help. "Thank you for saving us," whispered one of the grasshoppers to the ant. "We were too proud to ask for help before, but you didn't hesitate to lend a hand." The ant smiled warmly. "We may have been too busy before, but we're happy to share what we have. We'll get through this winter together." And so they did. The ants and the grasshoppers spent the winter together, learning from each other and growing closer. The ants learned that it's okay to take a break and enjoy the moment. And the grasshoppers learned the value of hard work and planning for the future. When spring finally arrived and the snow melted away, the ants and the grasshoppers emerged, changed. The ants were still diligent and hard-working, but now they took time to appreciate the beauty of the world around them. The grasshoppers, in turn, were more responsible and less frivolous, but they still knew how to have fun. They all went their separate ways, the ants to build their anthill, grasshoppers to play in the fields, each group cherishing the memories they had made during the winter. From then on, the ant never forgot the lesson he learned from the grasshoppers. No matter how busy he was, he would take a moment to appreciate the warmth of the sun or the sound of the birds. He learned that life is not just about working hard, it's also about enjoying the journey. And the grasshoppers, though they continued to play and have fun, also learned the importance of responsibility. They knew that they couldn't rely on others to save them, so they started preparing for the future, gathering food and making plans for the winter. They still loved to have a good time, but but now they also knew how to work hard when needed. So the tale of the ant and the grasshoppers reminds us that balance is important in life. The ants teach us the value of hard work and preparation, while the grasshoppers remind us to take time to enjoy the moment. Just like the ant and the grasshoppers, we can strive to find a balance between work and play, responsibility and fun, so that we can live a full and happy life. The end.